welcome. This is Chris Abraham, ChrisCast episode 12, season 2. Welcome. I am using a really old digital voice recorder from Olympus called a WS600S, and so the quality might be different or altered, so please forgive me. Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît. This episode is going to be a frivolous one. It is titled 8 Quick Reviews of Netflix Shows and Movies I Decided to Review for You. So this is going to be a doppelganger of the blog post that I posted onto chrisabraham.com titled 8 Quick Reviews of Netflix Shows and Movies I Decided to Review for You. I might actually have a couple extras on this episode that are on other channels, so please bear with me. You might get bonus content. So I watch too much TV and view too many movies. It is a Achilles heel. However, I really didn't watch much TV or view any movies between like 1990 and 2010. So those were years, 20 years where I didn't watch anything. So many TV shows and so much stuff, so much content, so many movies are just unbeknownst to me. And I thought that I was a movie aficionado. Apparently, I am just a movie snob because I only watched fancy stuff. But right after this message, I will get back to you on that. Welcome back. This is ChrisCast, Season 2, Episode 12. This is where I review some Netflix movies and TV shows for you. So I'm going to make a section per. There's 8 of them, so there'll be 8 little sections. And maybe I'll give you a couple bonus shows. Anyway, let's get started. I gotta tell you, I really like Netflix. I know a lot of people say terrible things about Netflix, about the shows not being watchable, or they're being a limited library. The truth is that they have an infinite amount of shows, and if you're not seeing something that you want to see, you have to break through the algorithm, because the algorithm will only give you what it thinks you want to watch. And so that's why it's important to read reviews and find out new content on Netflix so that you can have a better experience. All right. First up is a terrible movie that I watched through completion because Melissa McCarthy was in it, and Octavia Spencer was in it. But it's called Thunder Force, and I believe that they almost called it Thunder Thighs, but because someone in the writer's room had better sense than to do that, they called it Thunder Force. And I gotta tell you, it's the best movie in the world until you actually catch up with the grown-up girls, Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer as Lydia Berman and Emily Stanton, respectively. Because the funny thing is that the teen girls that represent them early in the show as they become fast friends in high school are much better, and the story is more compelling than the entire rest of the movie. The movie is stupid. It's irrational. I don't know if you know this, but I really hate physical comedy when the physical comedy is about fat jokes. I believe that there was no reason to care about any of these people. I believe that they were superficial. I believe that even though the young girls did an amazing job of building baseline, there's no reason to care about the powerful women in this movie. It is an offense to superhero movies. It is not a tour de force of feminism. And I believe that if Tina Fey had written and produced and directed this movie, it would be a tour de force. I just believe that it was bad. Hey Google, who directed the movie Thunder Force?
Thunder Force was directed by Ben Falcone.
So Ben Falcone is Melissa McCarthy's husband and a man. Why is a man doing that? Hey Google, who wrote Thunder Force?
The author of Thunder Force is Ben Falcone.
Yeah, Ben Falcone, her husband. This was a gimme to him. It was garbage. It was anti-feminist. It was anti-woman. It was anti-hero. And it just went for the yucks. Completely understand it now that I found out that Melissa McCarthy's husband, a hack comic, and basically Melissa McCarthy's wife, is behind this. So I understand that now. It was a gift to her beloved husband for being an awesome husband. But I would start the movie, and then I would make sure that you're in an ejection seat, or that you have a parachute, because you're going to bail on this movie. And I encourage you to watch it to the moment that you bail. It can't even be solved. It's not even solved by the cast of characters that they have. They have an entire suite of A-list talent, including that guy from, what's it called? Anyway, he plays a guy with completely worthless crab pinchers for arms. But even the entire thing, I wouldn't recommend it. But I watched it anyway, so that you don't have to. But I definitely say take a look at it for the teenage characters, and I got to give them shout outs. Ty LaShawn played Team Emily, and Mia Kaplan played Teen Lydia. It would have been so much better if the entire movie was a teen comedy where we find out that Teen Emily actually had her own amazing basement laboratory, and they were able to create the superpowers as they were teenagers to avenge Emily's parents' death. And by the way, avenging your parents' death is just lazy. That's a lazy thing. All right, be back after the break. I hope that was useful. I'm not very good at these review things, so we'll see how I do in the next one. Hey, Chris Cast, episode 12, season 2. I do not know why I keep on going back to the Blacklist. I basically write in my blog post, I hate this show, I love this show, I hate to love this show, I love to hate this show. But the reason why is that I'm obsessed with any woman that has a brunette bob, a black bob, a dark-haired, blunt bob. And the moment I saw the show, Megan Boone as Agent Elizabeth Keene, she has this great hair. And when you scrutinize her, you're like, funny teeth, super huge chin, and then you just realize after you're in it for a little while that she's freaking beautiful and wonderful, and you would watch the show even if it wasn't surrounded by intrigue and so forth. It's a show about a crime lord / assassin by the name of Reddington, and it's a long story, but basically Reddington comes to the FBI to give them a list of people that they need to arrest called the Blacklist, and every episode is about one person that Reddington gives to them, and it's never a pure give. There's always a reason that Reddington wants this person pursued, and it's for his own enrichment, and it's for his relationship with Elizabeth Keene, and I don't want to go ahead and spoil anything, but of course, from the very first moment, you're like, Reddington's got to be Keene's father, duh. Anyway, besides that, I'm also obsessed with James Spader as Red, and I also watch it for Hisham Tawfiq as Dembe, who is who's Red's African sidekick or partner or associate, and I watch it for everybody else is fungible, though Aram and Samar are bit characters, but they are both, one is a former Mossad agent, the other is, I guess, a hacker, technologist stud, and they're really good characters, and they work for it. And Ryan Eggold as Tom Keene is pretty keen. That guy's great. The only other show I've seen him in is a TV show that's going on now where he's the head of a teaching hospital, and he's got cancer and all this other stuff. Hey Google, what TV shows are Ryan Eggold in?
Ryan Eggold stars in 10 TV shows. Here are the first 3: New Amsterdam, The Blacklist, and The Blacklist: Redemption.
So New Amsterdam is what he's in now, but in Blacklist he plays an assassin, operative, black ops, who knows, crime lord, bad guy, good guy, mercenary, criminal for hire, assassin for hire, and ends up making a beautiful little married, married twice, having baby life with Elizabeth Keene. However, foreshadowing, it's not happily ever after, of course. I'm not through the entire series. It goes on forever. And I don't know if I'll ever be done with it, because it's sort of like, for me, it's sort of like Liver, right? Like the idea of Liver, whenever I see it being made on TV by an amazing chef, it always seems like a good idea. I go ahead and buy liver, buy onions, buy chicken liver, buy beef liver, buy goat liver, whatever. And it just, goose liver, all these things, aside from maybe goose liver, just seem like it's, it's awful. Haha, awful. And I like liverwurst. I really love liverwurst, but I've just not been able to make it work when it comes to liver and onions. In the same way, I keep on going back to Blacklist, get my eye full of Elizabeth Keene, see what's going on, see the cool ensemble that Red is wearing, get to have some wisdom experiences with Dembe, and that's it. I mean, I don't know if I recommend that you jump down the rabbit hole. However, here's one bonus. I really love Burn Notice. I really loved it. I jumped on it, and I wrote it, and I didn't stop writing it until it was frickin' over. Hey Google, how many seasons was... Hey Google, how many seasons was Burn Notice?
Burn Notice has 7 seasons.
Yeah, that's a million episodes. So that show is freaking good. I will try to think of other shows that are like that. My mom really liked White Collar, and my mom really liked that one, The Mentalist. So maybe I'll check those out. Anyway, I'll come back with the next one. Thanks for listening. Welcome back. Season 2, Episode 12 of the Chris Cast. And my name's Chris Abraham. We're on to the third one, which is called Country Comfort, Season 1. This is basically a Katharine McPhee vehicle, and if you love Katharine McPhee, either for her talent, for her soul, for her spirit, for her beautiful face, for her banging body, or for her music, you are going to love this show. It's so sweet. It's so family-orientated. She's a girl who's been done wrong by a dude she was dating for 10 years, and she ends up breaking up with him after he dumps her from the band, and she stumbles into this household of 1 million kids on a horse breeding ranch, and she falls into becoming the nanny, and the hilarity ensues. I mean, there's an amazing... Hey, Google, what's the cast of... Hey, Google, what is the cast of...
There are 26 people in the cast of Burn Notice.
Hey, Google, what's the cast of Country Comfort?
There are 9 people in the cast of Country Comfort. Here are the first 3. Katharine McPhee, Eddie Cibrian, and Ricardo Hurtado.
Eric Balfour's in it. I liked him in that show I can never remember about, which is based on I believe, a Stephen King book. But Janet Varney is really funny. She plays Summer, who is Bo, who's played by Eddie Cibrian, who's Bo's girlfriend, while Kathy McPhee plays the nanny. And then there's a bunch of kids, all of whom have beautiful voices. Ricardo Hurtado plays Tuck. Jamie Martin-Man plays Brody. Shiloh Verico is really amazing as Cassidy. And then Piper Braun plays Chloe, and Griffin McIntyre plays Dylan, the 2 youngest people.
She's 37 years old.
Katharine McPhee is 37. Her birthday is March 25th, 1984. But she is so beautiful, and so, it's such a good, I mean, it's a farce, it's a comedy, it's a family, it's basically, you know what it is? It's exactly 100%, the hills are alive with the sound of music. So it's 100% Sound of Music. Bo plays, the dude from that, and she plays the nanny, and they all burst into song, but it's country, and there are, of course, there are guest appearances, and it's just fun. It's fun. But if you have a cynical bone in your body, you either won't like it or you'll hate watch it. And hate watching, it is perfectly acceptable. Give it a go. Hey, welcome back. This is Chris Abraham. This is Chris Cast, Season 2, Episode 12. This segment's about Lupin. Lupin. Hey, Google, what does Lupin mean in French?
Lupin means lupine in French.
Hey, Google, what does the French word Lupin mean in English?
Here's a summary from the website vocabulary.com. When something reminds you of a wolf, you can describe it as lupine. The adjective lupine comes from the French word of the same name, with Latin roots. Lupinus, of the wolf, from lupus, wolf.
So there you go. Lupin is the wolf, and he is played by... Did I even say who he's played by? He's played by Omar Sy as Hassan Diop. And I'm going to read you what I wrote. Is Lupin a spy, a thief, a murderer, an assassin, a hero? It's hard to know. Lupin is directed like a young adult series, but it's deadly and violently serious. That said, Omar Sy as Hassan Diop is a goofy dreamboat. I'm in love with Ludivine Saulnier as Claire, his wife, but if you know me, you totally understand my type. Everything about French women drives me crazy, especially if they're short, have short legs, long upper bodies, and big noses. Just poke me with a fork, I'm done. And I'm in love with her, and Eaton Simon as Raoul, their son, holds his own with his own sort of swag and style. Superb. So this is really fun. If you want to practice your French, the French is pretty simple. It's slow enough. It's not it's not an art film. So if you want, you can turn off the subtitles and listen to it in French. You can play it in French with subtitles, and I think it might even have a dubbed version on Netflix, though I'm not sure. But either way, there's no way that this would even be remotely possible in the real world. None of Lupin's clever. None of the clever is remotely clever. Follow the money does not track. Although I guess he is a thief, so accruing wealth for a high-quality thief is possible. And also, the hero of this series is a thief. So there's that. There's also a revenge thread. I guess the most important part of this is about revenge, or revenge, being vengeful. What is the quote? Hey, Google, what is the quote about revenge being served cold?
According to Wikipedia, the popular expression, revenge is a dish best served cold, suggests that revenge is more satisfying if enacted when unexpected or long feared, inverting traditional civilized revulsion toward cold-blooded violence.
There you go. Anyway, so it also involves his family life, his crime life, his relationship with the detective, a corrupt detective, and, of course, his love for his son. And a book. A book. I don't even think it really is a book. If it is a book, I would love to read it en français. But all my friends are bragging about it. Everybody seems to love it, and you will too. Hey, I'm back. Chris Cast, Season 2, Episode 12. This is all about movies and TV shows on Netflix. The next one is one that I hate watched. It's terrible. It is the worst, and it's probably going to do fantastically well because A, it's a Kevin James vehicle. B, it is the most typical version of a comedy, short form comedy series that you can ever imagine. And 3, it is 100% committed to the world of NASCAR, the world of barbecue, the world of good old boys, and in many ways, a gentle mockery of strong women and women in general. So if that's what you're into, watch it. If you love Kevin James and just want to watch him saunter around playing the same Kevin James character, then do that. I recommend hate watching it, but I cannot recommend it at all. I wrote in the blog post, this is a terrible show, and I hate watched the first season, and I really love Kevin James. Might be really popular with the NASCAR kids. I'll be right back in a second. Hey, welcome back. Chris Abraham here, Chris Cast, Season 2, Episode 12. This is about the series that is over already, and you should have seen it if you haven't, called The Magicians. And it's bloody brilliant. It's witty. It's savvy. It's clever. It's woke. It's funny. It is basically all the inside jokey, super smart humor that was secreted in Buffy is in here. Everybody's super too cool for school. I can believe that everybody in here was a extremely gifted magician who was handpicked to attend a double secret magician school that hides in the Hudson Valley. I freaking love the show. I love the gender fluidity. I love the sexual fluidity. I love the snarkiness. I love the glam. I love the perversion. I love the visuals. I love the audio. I think every single woman in here is more beautiful than the other. I mean, they're all stone cold foxes, and I even have crushes on all the male characters. Like, I'll tell you, man, I might be totally freaking queer if being madly in love with everybody on the show, men and women included, even Quinn. I gotta tell you, man, this show is everything. It's so everything that I went out and bought for my Kindle The Magician's first book and the audiobook. And while I'm not that happy with the second book yet, I kind of fell off it. The first book is everything you need to know to love the Netflix series even harder, because it discusses their rigorous training. It discusses the granular detail that would never make it into a series like this. But let me warn you, the fabulous characters of the series on Netflix bear no resemblance to the more quirky, enigmatic, normcore. I mean, not even. I believe that, like, nobody is fabulous in this team. They behave fabulously, but nobody's beautiful. Nobody's kicking. Nobody's banging. They're having sex, but nobody's like. When you watch this show, it's like the many colors of Benetton, plus like a Dior ad, plus like, I don't know. Everybody's so hot in this show. it's impossible, but in kind of an accessible way, right? They're not tall, willowy. They're short and curvy, and like there's out of all the episodes, there's even a really best episode, and this is what I wrote in the blog post. This is how much I love The Magicians. I bought the book and read it, and the audio book and listened to it, and I'm working through the second book. Lost me a little. Also, Season 3, Episode 5, called A Life in the Day, is burnt into my brain and my heart, and I loved it so much. It's the one where Quinn and Elliot live an entire life together while making a magic mosaic. Amazing. It's about an elite and exclusive witch and wizardry school, but debaucherous, and actually gay and fabulous Harry Potter. Elliot, man, I mean, is not Elliot the sexiest person ever invented on television? He is completely sexy, and even though Quinn is just a kvetchy little Nancy boy, I mean, even he has his moments of pure brilliance. And, I mean, the entire thing is extremely well done. Let's see who the cast is. Hey, Google, what is the cast of the Netflix series The Magicians?
Sure, here's some helpful information I found on the web.
Stella Maeve, Hale Appleman. Stella Maeve is Julia Wicker. Julia's awesome. Hale Appleman is Elliot Woe, who's frickin' amazing. Arjun Gupta. Actually, Julia Wicker is the most amazing woman you've ever met as a character. She is completely fierce, brilliant, tough, unapologetic, ruthless, and dead sexy. Arjun Gupta plays William Penny Adioti. Penny is, I mean, he's classically beautiful and classically sexy. And even he, who is amazing, pales compared to everybody else. Summer Bishi plays Margot. Actually, Margot is who I'm talking about. Sorry, Margot is the completely... But, you know, Julie is too, but Margot's completely fierce. It's amazing. Hey, Google, show me the cast of The Magicians. Hey, Google, show me the cast of The Magicians.
There are 53 people in the cast of The Magicians.
So, Olivia Dudley...
Here are the first three. Olivia Dudley, Hale Appleman, and Stella Maeve.
So, Olivia Dudley is this zoptic, bombastic, quirky, furtive, pensive, nerdy, bodacious witch named Alice Quinn, and she's the smartest and most brilliantly gifted magician of them all. Hale Applebaum plays Elliot Woe, who is, in cahoots, dead set, non-sexual partners, well, who knows, with Summer Bichel, who plays Margot Hansen. Then you've got anyway, I love this show, man. But I especially love that episode, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so go out and search on Netflix. If you don't have the patience for the show, just watch Season 3, Episode 5, A Life in the Day, and you're welcome. Hey, welcome back. Season 2, Episode 12 of Chris Cast. My name's Chris Abraham. The next series is a limited series, and I really was moved by it, although it doesn't seem like my cup of tea. It's called Worn Stories, W-O-R-N Stories. The series is such a breath of fresh air, very cool, intimate, and simple. I literally laughed and cried. It's about people and an outfit, a piece, a way of dress, and it's very sweet and emotional and compelling. It's soft-core clothes porn. Hey, Google, what is the series,
On On the website
Hey Google.
dictionary.com.
Hey Google, what is the plot of Warren Stories, the series on Netflix?
Sorry, I don't know how
Hey,
to
Google.
help with that.
What is WORN Stories about?
According to Google Books, New York Times bestseller, now a Netflix original series, everyone has a memoir in miniature in at least one piece of clothing. In Warren Stories, Emily Spivak has collected over 60 of these clothing-inspired narratives from cultural figures and talented storytellers.
So that's all I need to tell you. It's really beautiful. It's touching. It's random. And you know what? And it's really the world of clothing seen by someone from Manhattan. So it's got that point of view. If this were made by someone from DC or LA or Miami or San Francisco or Honolulu or Dubuque or Houston, it would be an entirely different series. It would be an entirely different series if it were written by someone from Atlanta, that's for sure. And it might even have been better because this series, while moving and everything, is extremely cliche and has been done a million times, but this is a really good version of that thing. Hey, this is Chris Cast, Chris Abraham here, Season 2, Episode 12, Chris Cast by Chris Abraham. This is the last segment, the last review, and I'm going to first read it directly from my blog because it seems long. I'll read this to you. Ginny and Georgia Season 1. This series is anti-Gilmore Girls for sure. All the sweetness and happiness is the result of unintended consequences and good luck and good hearts. However, it's a really rough ride and filled with darkness I can't reveal for reasons of spoilage. This show amazed me. Antonia Gentry as Ginny is a gorgeous chameleon. Diesel Torraca as Austin, her little brother, is perfectly cast. Felix Millard as Marcus does the sexy teenage love interest neighbor, does damage sexy perfectly. Brianne Howie as Georgia, who might or might not be lesbian, but who is gender fabulous, is this generation... Oh, no, sorry. Brianne Howie is Georgia. Sorry about that. And she is this generation's Julia Roberts, just darker and more complex. Look at her. I mean, she's so beautiful. She's so believable as the character of Georgia. And this is such a unbelievable suspension of disbelief, darkly playful series that, I mean, she shouldn't need to be believable. Sarah Weinglass as Max plays it very, very deep water beautifully. She's the next door neighbor, the brother of Marcus, the damaged, sexy, perfect guy, and then Mason Temple is Hunter Chen. I almost dismissed him as just some smiley dude who did not deserve the attention, everybody's so Google over him, but all I did was see this kind of like smiley doofus, but you realize very soon, I hope there's more seasons, because honestly, Hunter Chen, played by Mason Temple, is, once he started to punch back after he got hurt, he was just awesome. Katie Douglas plays sort of a throwaway character, but you know that she has body dysmorphic issues, and I want to know more about her and her trauma. I could go on and on, but that's enough. Watch it. It's much more than meets the eye. and I recommend it highly. It's not what it seems in the first episode. It seems like yet another freaking version of, like I said, Gilmore Girls, but it's not. It gets dark pretty quick, and I highly recommend it. Come on back, you hear? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is Chris Cast, Season 2, Episode 12. My name's Christopher Abraham. You can call me Chris, like my friends do. If you really like me, you can call me Chrissy Poo, especially in public around other people. Thank you for listening. I don't know if that was useful. Here are two extras that I recommend. They are not on Netflix, and I might review them further later. But Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, I love that show. I love The Rookie. I really like the new version of MacGyver. I really like the new version of Magnum PI. I never got hooked by Hawaii Five-0, the new version. I don't ever want to miss a episode of Bull. And I kind of watch Bob Hart's Abishola because it's important to watch. It's a good show. And I hope that Last Man Standing never ends. And I do watch the TV show The Connors. Alright, so those are my bonuses. You can reach me at chrisabraham.com. You can look into my brain at chris-abraham.com. I'm apparently right now supporting the return of MacGyver back to the air, because MacGyver was canceled by CBS. And if you go to chrisabraham.com if you go to twitter.com/chrisabraham, you'll see that apparently I'm a poster child of having MacGyver renewed. You can reach me at chris@abraham.su. You can find me on Facebook at Chris Abraham, YouTube at Chris Abraham. You can find me on Strava. You can find me on Fitbit. You can find me, everywhere. I'm on Instagram at Chris Abraham. I'm on Reddit at Chris Abraham. I guess that would be /u/Chris Abraham. And that's it. You can also text me or WhatsApp me, or you can even, you can even signal me at +1 202 352 5051. And if you want to talk to me, I'm at calendly.com/chrisabraham/15. Make a scheduled call, and I'd be happy to talk with you. On that note, my home base for this podcast, ChrisCast, is anchor.fm/Chris Abraham. Although you can find me on Spotify, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Apple Podcast. You can find me at Spotify. I might have just said that. Whatever that thing Adam Curry's doing, Podcast 2.0, I think I'm on there. I'm on TuneIn. I'm on, I believe that I'm on iHeartRadio. There's a million other ones. I know that I'm on Podcast Addict, because that's what I listen from. And you're welcome to subscribe, but I'd also like it if you could, whatever platform you're listening from, I'd love it if you would review, subscribe, like it, give me stars. But I'd especially like that review because, I only have 13 listeners, and I would like 14. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Talk to you next time. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. Mahalo.